All right, it says we're live. Are we live? Anybody? So, if there's anybody out there, give me a holler or something, thumbs up, whatever. Let me know if we're live.
It's working.
All right.
Looks pretty good too.
Well, that's good. All right. This is my first live stream. So, I'm here vacation. Got 2 more days left. Figured we'd do a Q&A. So, if anybody's got anything, let's have it.
It's pretty choppy. I just typed welcome everyone.
Yep.
But everyone right now is
You.
8. You got 8.
Hey, we're here. All right. So let's give it a few minutes and see how many people join this mess.
Our connection's terrible, and sorry for the wind, folks.
Yeah. We're out here at the campground here, Choke Lake in southern Indiana, and finishing up our last little bit of our vacation. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to start typing.
Jamie says the important people are here.
Hey, everybody's important.
Ask her if she can. Jamie, can you hear us and see us?
Can you see us okay, Jamie? I know our internet's kind of choppy.
Brenda Stevens says nice fall foliage.
Yes, it is. We've been fighting leaves for the last.
Jamie says
week
yep.
and a half. Good deal. All right. So, does anybody have any questions? I would move you around, but right now I don't want to move the camera because we have a little bit of cell phone service. So.
We've got one cell phone tethered to another cell phone, tethered to another one, so we can have a connection.
It's kind of a cluster out here. Everyone shows up. There's 480 campsites in this campground, and we're kind of in the middle. So,
State News Servers asks, can I mount tank for heater and put a filler outside?
you can. Depends on what it is. If it's on a van or something like that, I don't necessarily know. I'd mount it to the outside of the door or something. You can mount it inside and do a fill spout through the side of the van. But if you're going to do that, I would not use the little cheap tank that comes with it.
Well, I got a pretty good delay over here, so I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything pop up over here yet.
Nope.
So.
I know Jamie was just asking earlier. She's having a nightmare with getting things shipped and wants to know if she buys things through Home Depot, can we have them delivered to our store so we can pick them up?
That I'm not sure, because region-wise, I don't know if, because you're in Texas, I'm in Indiana, they have a different region as far as suppliers. That would be something you'd actually have to ask Home Depot and see if they would ship store to store for pickup, in-person pickup. You guys hear a lot of vehicles and kids. Every site here is full, so. All right. So, what else we got here?
Back up a little.
Yeah, let me turn this a little bit here.
All right.
Sorry.
I was trying to get you started in the shot.
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
hiding way over there.
I was trying to get to where I kind of see some of it too.
Okay, what filler can I use and what fitting do I need? And Jamie says, I know they will deliver there. I just wanted to make sure it was okay with you guys.
Yes, that's fine, Jamie. The filler, best one would be a boat filler, because it's going to mount more flush to the body, and it's going to have a smaller filler neck. Especially since you're not going to have, you're only going to have like 2.5 gallon, unless you do a custom tank, or I have mounted a 17-gallon fuel cell in a van.
I was about to ask that, yeah.
And that was kind of a nightmare just to get it primed, because it had a 1/2-inch pickup tube, and we're using an 1/8-inch line going to the diesel heater. So it was a real pain to get in there.
Barry C. Eggert says, hey, Red, we're getting about 15 people. At least according to my horrible delay. We're trying here. We're trying.
We're giving this a shot. If it works out well, we're going to try to do this once a month. So after all this is done, if you want to email questions to info@redscustomdesign.com, we will try to get a list instead of just trying to do it off the cuff here, and we'll be a lot easier to answer some of the questions.
State News Service says okay and thank you.
You're very welcome.
Mike Owen says I want GM to throw their hat into the high roof van market.
You and me both, brother. You and me both. I've got a 2010 Chevy Express that I wish was 12 foot long and 6 foot high. I would have it built out in a heartbeat. That, unfortunately, they're lacking in that department.
So I guess while we're trying to make some filler, what is the number one question you get asked when you're consulting people on their van builds? Other than how much is it going to cost? Take that one out of the number one. What else you got?
That's the main one. The other one is how soon. Right now we're booking into 2021. So we had someone call the other day that had just bought their van and they wanted it converted like now. And
Bubba says lose the shirt, big boy.
Sorry, Bubba. It's cold out here, brother. It's supposed to get down to 34 here tonight, so there's going to be more than just this coat on. But now I lost train of thought.
It's the size of the van. People don't realize.
Yes. They don't realize how, when you buy an empty shell, it looks like that thing is huge. But once you start cramming stuff in it, it gets small real quick. So if you're buying a 136 and you're wanting a king size bed and cabinets and shower and toilet and everything, reality's going to set in. It's not going to fit. I bust a lot of bubbles like that whenever they start.
You need like a certain person with washer and dryer in mind? Do you remember that person?
Vaguely.
Man, I wonder if she's watching right now.
All right, what else we got?
Bubba says LOL, still nothing yet, but again, my connection is definitely...
Yeah, every now and then I can see it, but unfortunately I can't see the little screen. The other thing I get asked a lot is insulation. What should I use? Wool, foam board, spray foam. I'm sure Thinsulate is a great product. I've not messed with it enough to know, what it's doing. Most of mine have been spray foam, so that's kind of what I'm familiar with. Another one I get asked is air conditioners that will run on your solar and batteries. So we are actually going to be start installing the 12-volt cruising comforts. So that's going to be something we're adding to our repertoire, you would say. Now that we are a Battleborn distributor and Victron.
We're getting fuzzy red. Hold on. Oh. Our connection's starting to go.
Hold on. But we're now a preferred installer through Battleborn and Victron.
Shout out to Eric at Battleborn. Because I know the ever living crap out of him.
Yeah, well, he's been helping us with inverter issue we've had with the van, and it's been driving everyone crazy. But we're trying to get it worked out, so the customer's happy, so we're happy. We're also trying to. We're tossing around the idea of doing a school bus conversion raffle. So that's something that we're not quite locked in yet, but if we can get enough interest, and in the comments or even on here, if you're interested in a school bus conversion, would you be more likely to buy a $100 ticket if you knew there was going to be 4,000 people in it? Or would you buy a $1,000 ticket if you knew there was only going to be 40 people? So that's something else that we're trying to figure out. What's the price point of the school bus conversion tickets?
Let's see. We got a few things that I poked on. Bubba responded back. So stoked to see you. How well you've done with this, bro. Your work speaks for itself.
Thanks, Bubba. Appreciate it.
Jamie laughed at Bubba. Brenda DeGarmo says, I have no Q&A, but I love your work.
Appreciate it very much so.
Raymond Drigger says, good idea, Red. Jamie says she has no idea who he is talking about. Smiley face. Bubba's Van Life, $100. T-Ray says, I'd buy that ticket for a schoolie.
Perfect.
Lemon Hayes says, great idea. Lost Soul Travel says, a lot warmer here in Quartzsite. No sweatshirts needed.
Hey, what's up, Gio? Love you, brother.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
No joke.
Yes, sir.
Gio, I don't know you don't know me and I don't know you, but I know a lot about your story and the original van, and I thank you because it's magnificent. I know you sold it already, but it's still amazing.
And hopefully, Gio, one day I'd like to go out and maybe take advantage of your yard out there in Quartzsite and do a couple van builds out there.
Yes.
That would be preferably around the December, January area.
T-Ray says, whiskey or beer? Jamie Harrington is applauding. And Lost Soul Travel says, I can't believe it all started with mine.
I'm not really a beer guy. Every now and then I do partake in a little bit of whiskey every now and then. Not very often, mainly because the time I get done at the end of the day and go in and crash out, I'm shot.
He says, come on out. And Doc says, hey, Red.
What's up? This is going actually pretty decent for craft
27
beer.
people. We're still cranking, and our connection's terrible. So
that's great. Yeah, we are going to be having a couple of the builds that I've done in the past. The owners are going to be selling them for whatever reason. So we are going to be cleaning them up, getting them, repairing anything that is damaged, and we'll be listing them for sale. So
Doc asked, is this your first live stream? Yes.
Yes, this is the first live stream, kind of the whole cluster of it all. We're gonna, if it goes well, we're going to try to get a lot better and do a monthly, even if it's 30 minutes to an hour, just to, kind of boost the numbers and answer some questions.
Jamie says, sorry guys, I have to cut out. Sad face. Love that you are doing this.
See you, Jamie. We'll see you next week.
Gio says, also edibles are only 20 miles away. Smiley faces.
Yeah, unfortunately, Indiana is still kind of on the fence about that, Gio, but, fingers crossed one that could save my wife a lot of headaches with her crowns.
Doc asks, where did you acquire your carpentry skills?
I started by helping my dad build our first house when I was 5 after my mom had died. So, and I've built ever since then. I've built 2 or 3 houses from the ground up. My shop, we built it in 7 days. My father-in-law's place that Mr. Hedge is now staying in, we built it, put a roof over a park model camper and got it all living within 7 days after my mother-in-law died. It's just over the years. Family run sawmill, so I had plenty of wood to beat and thump and cut around on, and after you fall down, you get hit in the head a few times with some boards, you learn not to do that anymore.
So far, the running consensus is the $100 single ticket.
Okay, perfect. That's what we need to know.
Doc says you're very good at it, and Gio's telling you Illinois is a lot closer.
Yes, it is, Gio. Yes, it is. We actually, we've been looking at commercial buildings. I don't want to get too big, but I'm turning away a lot of work, and we're seeing a lot of work that's coming in from other professionals that is very scary.
And we're fixing a lot of it.
Yes, we had a lady come in. She had a professional shop install a trailer hitch on her van. The 6 bolts that hold the hitch on, 4 of them, the threads were stripped out. And they sent her out like that. So we're seeing a lot of that, and it's scary as hell that there's people actually heading out there.
Steve asked how many of the new tall vans is Red converted, and that's all of them.
Yeah, I've not done any low vans yet. I've had several people ask about the Ford Transit Connect or the was ProMaster City.
Yeah, somebody just asked about us doing a Transit Connect or a ProMaster City.
So I get a lot of people, but a lot of the people that are asking that they don't realize how small them vans are. They're still trying to cram a lot of stuff in a small area, and some of them get mad whenever I tell them it won't fit, you know, and then they say, well, they've seen it on a video, or they've seen pieces on a video, but time you piece all that together, it will not fit in that small of an area. So that's the only downside to it.
T-Ray, I see what you're saying. We're changing our email address. We got our domain. If you would email me at that address, info@redscustomdesign.com,
Perfect.
I'll get you straightened out. Doc asked, would you convert a small bus? Absolutely.
Most definitely. I've been interested in school buses now since I was a kid, riding back and forth in elementary school. I've always just sat there and looked at it and thought, you know, I could do this. I could live in something like this. But
what about a step van?
yes,
That'd be
we've
pretty
got
cool.
one now that we're
We're working on it this second.
Spray foam job, a couple Max Air fans. We're doing some of it. The owner's going to do some, then he's going to bring it back, and we're going to do a little bit more. So it's, you know, I'll work with people as long as we know what your final product is going to be. That way, any shelving that gets put in there, any cabinetry that gets put in there, we know where to add reinforcements if necessary. Sorry about that. There's kids going by.
Steve asked, do you prefer the ProMaster or Transit?
It doesn't matter to me either way. As far as me owning one, I'm not really, you know, setting wise, I don't like the way the ProMaster sets, but that's me. I drove truck for 20 years, so I feel more comfortable driving something big, or, you know, that's why our school bus, I love a school bus. I'm even tossing around the idea of converting a 53-foot semi-trailer.
Let's see. Doc says the small buses they use at old folks' homes, and I told him, yeah.
Yes,
I mean, that would just be a small transit bus, yep.
Or
we actually have a customer wanting to come in right now, too, with that exact idea. So.
Perfect. Or even like the Chevy, a lot of them use like the Dodges, the actual, or E-Series that have the high tops on them. Them is just as easy to convert as the ProMaster or the Transit or the Sprinters.
I'm a few seconds behind. Our connection's getting fuzzy. How's it looking on your end?
Yeah, it looks great so far. We'll see.
Where are you located? Watching from Oregon.
Southern Indiana.
Tazewell, Indiana.
I am about an hour west of Louisville, Kentucky. You know, you tell people Tazewell and they have no idea, but you tell them Louisville, they get an idea where that's at.
Yep.
So, I've been around this area for 44 years, but I've drove truck over the road for over 20. So I've been coast to coast, 2 provinces of Canada and Mexico.
So hello, Oregon.
Yes.
And we've had people from the van builds have come from all over the country.
Pacific Northwest, every chance I got to take a load up there, I jumped on it. I love that area. If there's anything left after all the fires.
Bubba says, but do you like jerky?
If it's made right, yes. And you don't get some crazy guy from Arizona that puts, you know, so damn much spices on it you can't breathe.
Kenny Carr was watching from a cannabis farm in Southern Oregon while harvesting.
You the man, brother, you the man.
How much insulation of the spray foam tape would it take to make a box truck soundproof?
Soundproof? I don't know if there is such a thing, but to help out with a lot of the echo and stuff in there, we put anywhere from 2.5 to 4.5 inch spray foam in a ProMaster and a Transit. So,
Carol Springstead says hi. Sorry, I thought you were pausing there.
Nope, that's fine. But
can I add to Raymond?
Yes.
So, I don't know if I'm in frame. Yes. So Raymond, a big thing with soundproofing too, closed cell foam insulates the best, but open sound foam dampens sound better. But it also absorbs moisture. So you're not going to want to go, you got to find a fine balance. If you're going to do like line the inside of a van, you're going to do a layer of closed cell to seal it off, and then open cell foam for your sound dampening. I'll leave your camera now.
No, I have, there's been a few products as of late that are coming out that's actually a rubber mat that hangs. They're using them a lot in studios and stuff like that. We're trying to find out the price point on it because I hear that a lot. People want to know how they soundproof their vans. So, you know, if they're in there, they're not hearing outside noise, or if they're hearing, if they're playing their TV or whatever, they're not hearing that from inside. So,
Carol Springstead asked, have you lost some weight?
yes, I have. Since June, I've lost about 40 pounds. So, I'm working on it. You know, rolling around these vans is getting a little tighter. More stuff, and a bigger person doesn't quite work out too well. So if you guys got questions, I'm just kind of standing here. I wasn't really prepared for all this, so honestly, I'm surprised at the service that we have to be able to do this where I'm camping out here. So,
what would you recommend for insulation in Chicago?
Either spray foam or wool. I mean, we do a lot of Havelock wool. As far as price points, there's really not over $100 difference in the price, because the wool's cheaper, but it takes a lot more man hours to stuff it in there. So that's the only downside to the wool. So
Kenny Carl asked, what's the best way to get a hold of you or your business?
info@redscustomdesign.com. We just got our domain there. That takes you right to Mr. Hedge there, or myself, and that's kind of where we're trying to route everybody to. This is my wife. She's the one that does all the painting, staining that you're seeing in a lot of the vans. So.
Hi, everybody.
We got 31 live.
Perfect.
Wants to know why our super chat isn't available, but I haven't set that up for us yet.
Okay.
That's where they can give us a few schmeckles and their message pops up ahead of everybody. If it's a thing, though, we'll set up super chats, we'll set up YouTube and all that.
So to be perfectly honest with you,
multiple people.
To be perfectly honest with you, that's why I shut all my stuff from my phone. I am not a computer person at all. I can do saws and lumber and welding.
That's where I come in.
Yeah, he's the guy that takes care of the computer side of it. I'm just the guy with that cuts the wood and makes everything happen.
What are the top 3 things a customer can do to make things easier?
We tell everybody, give us 3 lists. Whenever you're getting ready to start your build, or even email us, give us 3 lists. Your must-haves, your wish list, and give us an idea of some of the stuff you don't like. Also, if you see something in a YouTube video that you like, don't send us the link. Get a snapshot of that picture. If there's something that we have questions on, then we'll ask for that link. Because to be perfectly honest with you, we don't have as many emails as we get. We don't have time to watch every YouTube video.
Screenshots, for the love of God, screenshots, please, I beg you. Or at least timestamps on the video.
Yes, that would help out great. Because we've had people that send us 40 YouTube videos
at a time
for a light switch or a faucet or something like that. Just give us a screenshot. That makes it go so much faster.
So you already just covered on this, but Steve West asked, what is your process for consulting and designing the systems, floor plan, and layout? Which the 3 lists.
Yes, the 3 lists, it kind of narrows that down. And then even if you can't draw, and this is a big thing, even if you can't draw, in your mind what your van you want it to look like. Get a napkin, a piece of paper or something, and just draw blocks. That gives us an idea of the layout that you have in mind. Because I can, as someone's describing to me what they want, I can visualize it, and before we get done talking, I know what that van's going to look like. The other thing that really it takes up a lot of time is people that make changes midway through. I understand that you have different ideas, or you see something, or there's something that you forgot. It happens. But to add something after we've been working on it for 7-8 weeks, and then you want to completely change everything, realize that that eats into the next build.
And it's going to cost you a fee to do the change,
Yes.
plus our hours and our materials.
Yes, because I mean it's really. I'm willing to work with someone, but that right there is really starting to eat into other and pushing other builds back. And if it's something that can be changed later, especially if you're new to living in a van. If you've never camped and you're going from a 6,000 square foot house to an 84 square foot van, realize you have no idea of your perfect build, because after you get in there and realize some of the stuff that we have or that you want to put in there, you may not need it. I've had 2 ladies come back that they researched for 3 years that this is their perfect build. Everything they want is going to be in here. 6 months later, we ripped some of the cabinetry out because even though I suggested that you're not going to need that, they still went back and they wanted it, so we took it out.
I have to skip some questions for a comment.
Yes.
Bubba says, if I walk around the shop in a G-string and a tiara and fetch your tools, will you build me some shelves? Tools did not have an S on the end of it. I just want to point that out. But
Bubba, I've seen you in shorts. I definitely do not want you in a G-string.
Clint Price says, everything you do is so well thought out, and your narration is like watching a good friend.
Appreciate it.
How's the camper build going? We have multiple people asking about the camper, but I don't know if they mean the
motorhome
or the scrap one.
Well, the scrap one, it actually got turned into a temporary office. The motorhome, that is something that we was talking about today, because honestly, we don't have anything to show. To be perfectly honest with you, I've got my van, but it's also, we use it to haul materials. So,
Bud Stella Fox, Samuel,
yeah,
woohoo!
Thanks for the build. Looking forward to working with you. So, we're actually going to be getting on that hopefully sometime between now and the first of the year, and sometime around March we're wanting to start attending some of these events with the motorhome.
All right, I got a few things to go. We got some funnies from Bubba. People are laughing.
Yeah.
Steve West asks, are the new battery types inverters capable of running a small air conditioning unit overnight when boondocking?
Yes, they are. But it ultimately comes down to how many batteries you have, what kind of air conditioner you have. Like I said, we are going to start installing the cruising comforts. They are 100% 12 volts. They will run overnight with about 4 batteries.
Lithium
battery, yes. But the unit itself, and we're trying to get them to, if we order 4 to give us a little break on them, they're about $5,200-$5,300 bucks. And that's pricey. But if you're looking for stealth, and I say that because that's a catchphrase anymore, it's not, everyone knows you're living in a van. I mean, just be perfectly honest with you, or some type of vehicle. But if you're wanting to be quiet, the cruising comfort is the way to go.
All right. Bud Stella Fox, our new build, says, have you noticed that conversion vans are holding their value?
The value of it really depends on who wants to buy it. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, it just depends on, could you get 50 out of it? Yeah. Could you get 80 if you find the right person? Could you get 100? It depends on the person that is trying to buy it.
And every build we cater to the person that's paying for it. So
correct,
if somebody thinks like you and likes things like you,
yes,
it's probably a lot more feasible than otherwise.
So if you're looking for something you plan on staying short term, maybe a year, and then you're wanting to sell it, then don't 100% customize it to you. You want to build that to sell to the general. So, so don't get too exotic as far as honing it around your style, because if you're going to sell it, you're not going to sell it to your twin. You're going to sell it to someone else. So you got to have that in mind.
Bubba says, sad face. Steve West, who asked the question earlier, says, thanks, love your stuff.
Appreciate it.
Bubba says, with duct tape and shovel compartments for your shelving.
I don't know, man.
Kenny Carl says, can you fit a full queen-size mattress in a van like a ProMaster?
A short queen, yes. Not a standard queen, just because it's not wide enough. And that's another thing you have to take into consideration.
Secret compartment.
Another thing you have to take into consideration is if you look at online at the width of a ProMaster, it says 75 inches. Just so you know, that 75 inches is outside wall to outside wall. So if you don't ever plan on putting anything in there, then yes, you can put a 75-inch wide mattress. But if you're doing insulation and building it out, unless you do the recess in the walls, about 72 to 70, somewhere in there is your side-to-side measurement on a ProMaster. Sprinters are, Transits are narrower than that. Sprinters are the narrowest.
Bubba says, sorry, love you, brother, just playing.
Understand.
He also said, hey, you skipped the important part, bad speaker. Pitbull says, I'm looking at an Isuzu with a 20-foot box. Would you be interested in building it out? That's the weird that's if it's cab over, that's kind of a...
It depends. Are we talking sleeper build, or are we talking a camper conversion? The only thing that you have to worry about with the cab over is if you're parking in an area that you're a little sketchy with and something goes down, how are you going to get out of that box and get into the cab and get out and drive off? That's the only thing with the cab overs. So
I got nothing else. We are a little over half an hour. I got a few things if you want me to chime in, or you want to...
What do you got?
Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself for starters.
Yes.
I keep shoving my head in here. So everybody,
this gentleman here we've hired as a shop manager. So anytime you call the shop phone, you're going to speak to him. This is also another Eric. So it gets very confusing around the shop.
Yep, I'm going to be implementing a whole lot of new features, so new ideas. So when you call in or email in, we're going to kind of have a fluid workings. Everything's going to go hopefully a lot smoother. We're going to be able to line people up a little better for further out. So if you're still interested in a build, we've still got some openings towards the beginning of the year. We're kind of shuffling more in and trying to offset our build process a little bit.
We're trying to hire more employees.
Yes.
We're doing this slowly so we can keep the quality up to where I want it at.
And that's the biggest thing. We will never grow beyond that point. If we get to where we see quality starting to go down, we're going to walk away from it. We're going to stop right there, reevaluate what we're doing, and kind of go back at it again, for lack of better.
I still want to keep that small shop feel. I don't want the big industrial, you walk in, it's like walking into a factory. I want that one-on-one. If I assign your van to a builder, I want him to be able to relay to you what he's doing, why he's doing it, and if any changes, that way you can talk to the builder and not, third party down the line, and it gets lost in translation, if that makes any sense. So.
And then the other thing I wanted to cover was all this. So YouTube, our Facebook page, any place that we're active, while Red is still always in the background, I'm going to try to keep it a little more active. I'm going to try to have more consistent YouTube posts. We're going to try for 2 a week.
Hey, I try.
Try is a key word, because also now that I'm taking the weight off of him, I'm busy now because now we're trying to focus on things for growth.
Yes.
Another vote for the $100 ticket while we were talking here.
Perfect.
So some thumbs up and hey, what's his name? But I think we covered that already.
Yeah.
I pretty much answered anything, including hey, fat. Never mind. I can't say that on camera.
Yeah. Gotta keep it PG. Gotta keep PG. So if anyone has a bus build that they're interested in, we are definitely interested in a school bus, shuttle bus, short bus, box truck, bread truck, whatever. I mean, I've done a full kitchen build out in a minivan. I mean, I'm game for just about anything if it makes sense and it's safe. I'm not going to put my name out there on anything that's safe. Speaking of that,
that isn't safe.
That isn't safe.
Correct,
You said
yes.
that is safe.
Sorry, I got distracted by a bunch of kids. All right. With that being said, if you bring a vehicle to me that is already wired, that you've wired, I will test it, and make sure it's good. But I will not hook it up. I will show you how to hook it up once it leaves. But for liability and just all out safety.
Bubba says, game for anything? Hey, big boy.
Bubba, you don't have deep enough pockets, man. I may be a whore, but I'm not cheap.
Jack Jones asked, do we warranty our work?
Yes, we do. Now, as far as components, it's manufacturer's warranty.
But we partnered with those manufacturers to get priority support.
Yes.
Especially our electrical components.
Yes. We're dealing heavily with Battleborn and Victron right now. I will use just about any components if they're not selling cheap piece of shit. I mean, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I've had a couple of people that brought me stuff that it didn't even have a name on it. It was so cheap, and I refuse to use it just because I don't want my name associated with some generic fourth-party charge controller that you didn't have a build date or a name on it. So, but that's kind of the way. What else you got?
Okay, so Bubba's getting picked on now. Gio says, why doesn't he have a load? Kenny Carl asked, when's our next live show? And if I may, it'd probably be the second week in November. That way, towards the holidays, we're not all trying to cram a bunch of stuff in. Yes?
That sounds great, yeah.
Okay.
After the holidays, we're going to try to get at least one a month. And then after the holidays, we're going to try to get on some kind of a schedule to where either a Friday or a Saturday once a month, kind of sit around the campfire, maybe even in the shop when it gets colder, set up the camera and see what happens. As long as you guys keep joining and asking questions, we'll try to continue this on.
All right.
So, with that being said,
everything Apex. I was hoping this was a striptease. Damn it.
Alan, you first, brother. You first. All right. So, unless there's any more questions, I think we're going to wrap this thing up. And I got some food over there cooking. It smells damn good. So we're going to try to stuff our face a little bit and enjoy the rest of my vacation and be back at it Monday morning.
Follow our social media. I'll get definitive dates out there in the next couple days.
That's it, man. So I appreciate everybody.
Oh,
yes.
Kenny Carl says you should do a cookout next time, and we talked about doing a rally next year.
That once we get us, if we do the bus build, we're going to sell raffle tickets, and once it gets to our break-even point, we're going to have a minimum. I'm a small business; I can't lose money, but as long as we sell enough tickets to get to that break-even point, then the bus goes.
And then they want to do like a get together.
Yes.
What I'm talking about. Yeah.
So once we get that bus, we're actually going to raffle it off. We're going to draw the number. Hopefully the winner of it will be at our rally. We're going to, close to where I live at, there is a beautiful little park that we're going to get a hold of them and have it down there right next to a little creek. And we're going to give the bus away.
Bubba says, hell yeah, great idea.
So hopefully by doing that, the winner will actually be there, and we'll do a live stream from there when we draw the ticket.
Oh, absolutely.
So hopefully, like I said, hopefully the winner's there, and we can see their reaction when they actually win the bus. So that's
Bubba
our
said he'll
plan
bring
now.
his own stripping pole. I think on that visual, I think it's time to call it a day.
Bubba, you pay me enough, I'll whittle you one out of cedar, brother, and put all kinds of varnish on it. You can just slide to your heart's content. So,
Oh, Lordy.
all right, so if that's it, we're going to get out of here, and we'll talk to you guys later. I appreciate everybody that took the time to join us here. So, we good?
We good?
All right, now.
Good night, folks.
See ya.